Okay guys, welcome back. We are here today on Bank and starting out run over strats in the basement CCTV room site. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you want to make sure that somebody runs up and gets this hatch right here, this hatch right here. If you so choose, especially if you're at the higher levels, mid platinum, diamond rank, you want to make sure you get this elevator hatch right here and this red hatch right here. Doing that's just going to make sure that the enemy can't rush you from behind at some point when you're not ready for it. Classic meta has been to reinforce both of these walls, though the game's changed a little bit in recent patches, the way that players have been nerfed, buffed, etc., etc., and that my team and I actually we shoot some holes into this thing. The reason we shoot kind of this line of holes right here is it denies the thermite the ability to come up and plant on this safely. And the only way to truly blow this wall open is with an ash charge. And then we'll come and we'll reinforce this east wall right here. We'll reinforce this one. And the reason we do this one is because we don't want to give the enemy team total line of sight. We just want to make sure that this isn't given to them, because this is the common plant spot. An enemy team will come out. I'm just going to blow this out. They'll come over here. They'll come inside. They'll be crouched. And then they'll turn around. And the diffuser will actually get put like right on this line right here. And as you can see, that the angle right here to actually hit them is very, very small. And so we don't want to just let them be able to do that. As a response to that, teams have been breaching this and trying to plant right there. And the reason I am smoke is because I'm going to show you how to deny that. So similar to the house strat that I ran over day one, you're going to want to shoot out the top of the wall, and then it's the same kind of idea, is that you're going to chuck your smoke through it when you get the call out. And you can see where that smoke will land. Even if this is blown out, that smoke's gonna land like right here-ish. But that's completely fine. What that'll do is that'll smoke out the planter, and this works really well when the enemy team's doing a montane plant. So they'll pull up a montane and they'll put somebody behind him, and you just throw a smoke. What that'll do is that'll push the enemy back. You'll get 15 seconds roughly from the time that you actually detonate it to the time that they come back and try for the replant. Like so, there you go. You want to blow out this big wall here. Sometimes we'll reinforce this section, because this is a two-sided wall right here. We'll reinforce this simply so that myself as smoke, I get a little bit of safety, because being that I'm smoke, and this is a very important position for smoke to be in, a lot of stuff's going to be coming to me, and that just gives me a little spot to hide and stay nice and safe. When we do that, we'll generally, if we reinforce that section, we'll reinforce this section right next to it right here. And then we'll shotgun holes out over here. Like so. Another really cool angle that I absolutely adore is, because you have this wall here, this section can be a little bit lower. And you shoot this out like so. Not to this extent. I'm making this extremely dramatic so you can see the angle that I'm talking about. You can actually sit inside of this A site with somebody with an ACOG, and you can see right there, that's that front door into that other room there. So let me just get rid of those little annoying sections. Yeah, you can actually come back here with an ACOG and hold this pixel right here, and you can come over to this side and do the same thing. Your stuff gets shot right through it. So it's going to be a little bit client side. There you go. And you can just peek the bomb itself here. You can do that standing and crouch, just depending on where your actual holes are. So can't do that. Alright, so we're going to talk about where you want to play somebody. I like to drop a shield either right here or right on the bomb, and we'll play somebody up in this section temporarily until we determine that the push is definitely from here. We like to play our smoke inside of red right here. We'll play one guy in garage early to deny that garage push. And then once he gets the call that garage is clear, he's going to come rotate up to this section here and help over here. We'll barbed wire up these stairs, reinforce off this door. We'll play one guy back an elevator holding this section here and stairs, and then we'll have a guy inside of B holding this angle like so, and also protecting the backside here. Okay guys, so now we're in the staff room and the open area bomb sites. The reason I'm going to run Jaeger here is because I'm going to try to cover both of the main floor sites in one go. If you're in the staff section itself, you want to reinforce all of these walls right here, and you want to reinforce these ones right here. So the reason I say that I'm going to try to cover both sites at the same time is because both sites have effectively the exact same layout except for some minor differences here. So this section right here is all destructible. That's completely destructible, and the enemy team is going to go up there and blow that out. This entire section, which is above the other bomb site, all of this is also destructible. Every last bit of it. And so I say that they're similar and that your holds are going to be relatively the same concept, and that they're going to blow the floor out above you, and there you see the hatches are blown, and you're going to get pushed from above and from the west and the east side. So I say that these are the same because there you have just these little doors, and the bombs are going to be right here and then over here. And here you'll reinforce those, and then again you'll reinforce all of these. And so you can kind of see just by looking at them that they have the same kind of idea. And they do. You're going to want to make sure that you have people holding the upstairs. And some good operators for that are your Jaeger, a Bandit. If you're going to run a Cavalier, she's a good person to have upstairs. And another spot you're going to want to try to hold to some extent on either bomb site is you want to be able to make sure you have line of sight onto this little hallway here, and you have knowledge of the main lobby, whether that be a Valkyrie camera in any one of the places that you can imagine into this giant room, or having a Valk cam somewhere in here because that cam's going to get shot out for sure. If you want to more listen to this hallway, you can drop a cam somewhere in here. You can always put it like underneath these desks and stuff, and that always works pretty well. So the idea for when holding this is that you don't want to have too many people firm on site, and the people you do have on site, they need to be optimally your best gunfighters, because they're going to be getting in a lot of small, tight angles that are going to require good reflex to hit the shot that they need to hit. So in this site, I generally put one guy, if not two guys. We'll shoot open this wall a little bit. Not that, to that extent, not with the shotgun. But he'll kind of sit in here and he'll hold this angle a bit. He'll hold this section right here. If we're feeling antsy or whatever, we'll shoot this little section right there out. And what that'll do is that'll make sure that when they walk through, that we see their feet here, we can hit them in the face through the wall. And this kind of same tactic can be enforced when you're defending this site over here. You're going to want to shoot some holes in between the sites, like so that you can hold your angles from both sides across both sites. And then again, your people upstairs, you're going to be holding the meetings or the office section by closet and in here. Okay. So you're going to be holding this room, like up here. And an easy way to do that is to have one guy inside of the conference section who's going to be running that lap right here. That's going to be his little section. And you can put one guy actually in the CEO who's going to be running this lap, more or less. And these are just going to be the areas that he's going to have to control, and he's going to have to control those lines of sights. And the best thing about play people is here is if they do get below you, you can drop down behind them and shoot them in the back. And the only thing that's different from that and holding this is that this hallway section right here is what you're going to be primarily holding instead of that opposite room. So on here, you know, you want maybe somebody this section over here. One to two guys inside of the staff room, your two guys upstairs, and your final guy can be playing inside a closet, can be playing basement stairs. He can play in basement by the tunnel to try to catch that early rush, and you can do that on both sites. So now you kind of get the basics idea of these sites. There's a lot of walls that can be reinforced or blown out. So the real basic idea is to make sure that you're holding the top floor, and that's a very dynamic process, and I can't get into the full details in a single video, so that maybe that'll be a completely different video of how to hold top floor. So now we're gonna go up to the top floor for the final defense. Okay, guys. So like I said, we're back up on the top floor here. So you're gonna want to reinforce these four walls right here, and then I prefer to reinforce these walls right here over reinforcing the closet section and that portion there. I like when my team and we impact grenade like this section over here. Bad piece of wood. And yeah, we'll impact grenade into closet right there, and then we'll impact grenade into closet right here, and we'll castle off or barricade this door over here. And the reason that we do that is so that we can rotate in and out of sight relatively easily and safely. So that way, we can rotate through there into this room, get a second angle onto this section here. If our guy that's in this room is getting pressured, we can get a second line of sight. And by not reinforcing it, you can get line of sights straight across, like so. You kind of get the idea of what I'm trying to say here. So we generally don't reinforce this section here, but we'll castle off that door right there if we're not going to reinforce it, and we'll place somebody in there. Maybe we have a frost trap hidden in the shadows. It's a pretty common location for us to run one of those. So now we're going to see that when we're also up here, we rip down these windows. We don't want a fuse having the ability to straight bomb us out, because if you haven't noticed, fuse is extremely powerful at this point. And yeah, we just don't want to deal with that. But what we will do is we will prep these two windows like so, and there we go. If they repel up, we jump out the window and shoot them. If they're in the lobby section, we'll go through the basement, which you just drop through that and run through the basement. If they're on the east side, then we'll rotate to the front door and come through this way. And then you're back inside and all is good. But that's just one of those things. That's a very risky move, but generally you can get that guy that is repelled on that window. And I think we had a game where one of my guys did that 3 different times, picked him off 3 different people. So it does work when the other team is just not countering it, which isn't all that hard to do. Okay, so we rip down the objective windows, we prep these 2 windows, and then we want to play somebody in this conference / closet section over here. And then you want one guy to be on the A site, hiding either like behind the bomb in the corner in this section here, just kind of waiting for the next call to be made. You're going to want 1 or 2 guys running around downstairs. And the reason you want to be running around downstairs is because you can get the flank off onto them if they're coming this way and they're just not paying enough attention. You could come up behind them from below, sneak up, maybe get a kill or 2. If they push up too high without properly droning or clearing out the roamer, you can pick them off when they're in this section here. This is a good place to try to get a vault cam. You can throw it in the plants here, right here, down in those plants for audio. Another spot that I've similar to ones I've used before is you can put it underneath that, and it's probably not going to get spotted. You can throw your cam in this section, again, underneath that, in the flag right there, underneath this. I've seen cams inside of drone holes before that are really annoying. So yeah, those are just some cams that you can help to try to gain control of this section here. And you're going to want to have, generally for the first 30 seconds of the round, I will play right here with Jaeger and an ACOG. And you can't see us because this is an iron sight. But if you were to look right there, that is the police vehicle. And if you shoot in between the first pole and the second pole right there with an ACOG, you can actually hit people when they turn this when they run this corner to go to the front door. So it's a spot that I'll just sit and I'll hide and I'll wait to see if anybody makes that route. If I mean, it's only like this section you actually see is only about 2 feet, so you're likely not going to see anyone. But if you do, you can at least tag them. And then this guy, if your teammate calls somebody on windows, you step out and take out the kill on windows or who's ever up in this section. If it's a Blackbird or wherever, try to rotate back, drop into here. Be aware of getting shot from that on your return. But that's the basic idea. You want 1 to 2 guys downstairs, 1 guy here, and your last guy hanging out, trying to control the main lobby section and keeping them off of the windows, at least for the start of the round. And then once the round starts, rotate back and help out your team on site. So that's been the basic bank defenses. We're going to move over to the bank attacks, and I'll try to go over the best I can. Hey guys, so now we are back into attacking, and we're going to start off on the basement site. First thing you're going to do is you want to come in, you want to get control of servers. It's a dangerous thing to do, just rushing on in, because someone could very well be waiting for you to do so. So I highly recommend that you drone out the second floor during the prep phase, and you have somebody place a drone in kitchen in this section over here that's going to watch this door and watch this door right here. And the reason I say that is because you're going to want somebody to come through this door right here and come in, and if this hatch isn't blown out, you're going to want to blow that hatch out. Not every team will reinforce it, but some people just leave it as is, and you want to make sure that it gets blown just so that your team can get the proper hold and some angles onto this server section right here. I see with this blown out, it really decreases where the enemy can hide. And if there were to be an enemy sitting behind servers right here, at this point, you're going to have somebody coming through here, 1 there, and somebody up above. If they try to engage like this, they're going to get shot from above in this door. If they try to engage this guy, they're going to get shot from here and over here. If they try to engage the guy up top, they're going to get shot from those 2 spots. So that guy is effectively dead. You don't have to worry about it. Just make sure that you win your gunfights. Next thing that we talked about is that this wall right here is going to be your optimal wall to breach. And I said that some teams aren't going to let you do that, so a breach charge might not be a valid option. But that's why you bring an ash to the table. Shoot it kind of in the bottom corner there. And what that'll do is you can see that this gives us just that same wall I was talking about. And this is what I was telling you about getting that plant off against the wall. So you can step inside here. You see right here. Now see where the diffuser is at this point? It's outside of the room. And that's what I was telling you about. Teams are just going to go in and plant that, and it's going to be very difficult to try to stop that just due to the angle that Smoke's going to have to throw his nades and the angles that you're going to have to hold. So this needs to be blown out also, because blowing that out will give you total control of the A site, and holding the A site is generally your best option. There are a few scenarios, if they have a 4-man A hold and you got somebody in through elevator, then going and doing a sneaky plant backdoor isn't a bad idea. But generally, this is going to be your plant spot. So you're going to want to take control of the area above the hatch, and you want to make sure that you have control of the stairwell right here. Some teams will play a Valkyrie here, and they'll Jaeger this up so that you can't grenade her, smoke, or flashbang her out, and a little barbed wire behind her to slow down any push or rush that you might have, even if this is blown out. And so again, that kind of rotates back to you want to make sure that you have control of this section right here, and you know that there's nobody up above you. It's possible for a team to push a late roamer up the main stairs over here, and that happens. So you want to put somebody up in this section once you've cleared out above, and their job is just going to be making sure that this roamer can't get back and deal damage to you guys on the other side. Once you've picked off people, or you've determined that at this point sending a roamer would be stupid on the other team as the time's running down or numbers are on your side or whatever the situation may be, then this guy can come up and push through a garage or push this section all the way behind here. Get control here, push through the vault. Wherever the enemies are hiding at, this guy can come up behind him while you guys are planting in the A site and get another 1 to 2 picks and make this a 3 or 4v1 or whatever it's going to be. So you're going to want to plant right here. I recommend that you smoke off this door and there are kill holes in this area. Once you smoke it, it's not a bad idea to throw some grenades through their holes if you have them. Capital is always a good choice when playing bomb on the site. You Capital right there, and that's it. You shoot both your bolts right there. You come down, you do your plant, and just hope that they don't launch a nitro on top of you, because there's not a whole lot you could do with that. So that's going to be your basic idea. You're going to take control of server, breach out this wall here, breach that wall, whatever you so choose, smoke it out, plant on the edge, Capital there, watch for the roamer. The round's going to be yours. Okay, so this time we're going to be going over the attack on the open area and staff room. First thing you want is you want to make sure that you can get these 2 main hatches open right here. And the easiest way to do that is to have somebody drone out, drop a drone underneath this up here or somewhere behind these computers here. Come up above, make sure that there's not a Caviar sitting right here. Anybody with a shotgun sitting right here, as that can be very devastating. Same thing as right here. So make sure that you hop on your drone, you check that out before you do so, and then you breach up these hatches right here. And this one. So you breach those hatches, and this will give you your control from above onto the A site. And this whole floor is destructible too, so you can even expand your hold by breaching more of the floor and taking out wherever they're going to be. So you get the top blown out. There's going to be people inside of the B site, and there's likely going to be holes along this wall to some extent. Generally, there's not a crawl hole here. Normally, it's chest level shotgun holes. This back wall is probably going to be reinforced. Same with this section right here. So with those all reinforced and this having a bunch of shotgun holes, you need to try to get control of this north section, even if it's just for a brief amount of time, so that you can have your thermite come up and breach this wall. So the reason I say that you want to breach this section is that when that's a thermite charge, it's going to blow more of this out. That's just, ash charges don't have a huge explosion radius. So you want to do this because this will give you, again, that line of sight into here, and from here you can peek and cover a large majority of this objective. And you generally want to do this corner so that you're not hiding in this corner. So you could take one corner out of the equation. They're still probably going to hide here, and there's probably going to be holes in this wall right here as well, and there's going to have somebody hiding in there. So if you can breach this, and you can rotate over and breach this over here, what that'll do is that'll completely expose the enemy's general positions, and in doing so, it'll make them try to rotate, which they'll get right into your crosshairs. When you actually go for your plant here, you can push up this window right here, but again, I said that this wall is going to be shot out, so this is going to be dangerous. If you look right here, you have to be in front of this line right here to actually plant in the room. So you can do that same kind of plant that we talked about earlier, but this is really exposed. So a lot of people will come behind one of these desks and plant, or they'll come back over here and plant. Do not plant on the hatch, as if you plant on the hatch and they blow out the hatch, you lose the round. So even if you want to come all the way into this corner over here, there you go, all the way in this corner, and make it so that you're covered, but then again, the enemy's covered if they go for a defuse. If you want to do that and then blow out the hatch, well, then that makes walking across this while getting shot at quite difficult. So that's one of those things that if you want to be really sneaky and go right ahead for it. If you want to put a breach charge on the hatch and kill the enemy with it, and then have anyone else jump through, by all means do it. It's hilarious. So, idea, breach the hatches, breach these 2 walls here and here, and then while the enemy team is moving around and trying to peek you, because they're going to peek, That's what enemy teams do. Then you can get your picks. Once you get your picks off, you can come and plant behind any of these tables over here in that back corner there, in this section here. If you get control of the A site first, well, there's a lot of wall you can plant on. You can plant this corner here, that corner there. You can plant over in this back section over here, which is a pretty safe plant, especially if you end up planting behind the bomb itself. You just plant right here, very safe. The bomb itself will take up a fair amount of the bullets that are going to hit you, or you can hide back in this corner here. It all works. So that's your idea. You're going to want to breach the 2 north walls, get the 2 to 3 hatches if they're not already blown out, and then get your picks and try to plant on this section here, here, back in this corner, or back in that corner there. That's going to be your basic attack for the staff room open area site. Okay, yes, so now that we're on the top floor site here, we're going to say how do you go ahead and work your attack here. Well, the first thing you want to do is you're going to want to breach one of these walls. How are you going to do that? Well, you're going to have to take control of the stock room right here. Make sure you get control of that. And you're going to want to make sure that you have control of this section and this hallway, along with somebody who has awareness of what's going on below you. Come up, breach the wall. Real simple. Nothing too fancy. It's going to be reinforced. You're going to use a thermite for that. Once you get this open, you're just going to be aware of the enemy locations. Don't go inside yet. We're not ready for that far. Once you get it, you're going to want to make sure that you have somebody on either side of the wall. And you're going to want to make sure that before you do that you know what's going on in closet. Having the idea that, okay, there are rotate holes in closet, there aren't rotate holes. This is reinforced. It's unreinforced, but no holes. All of that information is going to be very important when you end up going for your push and potential breaches. You usually want to take control of the stockroom, as it's a very common spot for somebody sneaky, Jaeger, Caviar, or a shotgun individual to be waiting for you to come through those windows, or waiting for you to get too comfortable over there and pick you off like so. So as you're having operators do that, you're going to want to make sure that you have somebody coming in to one of these windows here. Again, drone this out. That spot right there, along with this section right there, and behind this desk are pretty common spots for a Caviar to play. And the reason I say to come in there is because the exposure from this doorway into this site and into this area is far less than coming through that over there where you can get it from the entire top. So you come through there and you want to push up into this section here. Prior to doing that, you don't. I would say you can hop on windows or hop on the roof and peek through the grates to get information. But I wouldn't recommend being on windows for too long because you're probably going to get picked off from an angle you're not watching at the time. So you're going to come up, you're going to have that guy push, try to get some control to this section. Again, it's going to be all about controlling this main hallway here. Once you guys establish that you have control here, you can rotate over and be holding this angle here. And this will be the enemy team's primary rotate if they were to try to rotate around, along with this section right here. You can see that there's the bomb, so there's going to be somebody in this room right here. So we have that blown out. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to try to breach into this room, get some crossfire. For this case, we're going to say this wall is left unreinforced. So we buck, whatever. We open that up. And then you're going to want to shoot whoever from behind this shelf right here. And the reason I say behind it is because it'll give you a little bit of cover. It'll block your character slightly, make it a little bit harder to see, and they're probably less likely to hit that shot through it. As they might be a little hesitant. So you're going to want to do that. Next, if this wall is left unreinforced, then you're going to want to breach into this one also. And you want to do it on the far corner here. Only so that you have this line of sight here, and you can go to this line of sight, and you can kind of rotate in between. You don't want it too close here because when you rotate from here to here, your line is too predictable and you're likely to get pre-fired or shot while doing so. Whereas if you do it like this, your angles that you can move and hold while doing so increase, so then you're less likely to get hit by a pre-fire or a spray through the wall, or etc., etc. Okay, so you have this open. These are both opened up. If they're not going to bandit and these weren't reinforced, then don't be afraid to breach this section right here. It's not entirely necessary, just given that the site isn't going to have a lot of people directly on it. There's going to be people who are going to be in the hallways down below trying to flank, etc., etc. So you want to make sure that you get in, and then you want to get control of the site as quickly as possible. They're going to give you the site, take the site. Don't be kill hungry, be like, oh, it's a 5v5 and they're giving us the site. What do? You take the site from them. You make them come back to you on the retake. And so generally when we go for the plant, we want to plant behind this desk here, behind the bomb here, in this little corner here. If you're going to be in this room, if you're in this room, you want to plant over here, and this corner here, behind this over here, or this little section here. So the idea is you want to get control of the east side, get control of the closet, and push them out of the A site into the B site and this little hallway here. And then once they're in the hallway, you can take possession of the site and then make them come back and try to fight you. And so that's going to be your basic top attack. I'm going to have to remake this and go to the next site, and we'll be doing the archive section next.